that's a bass, huh? That's a slab crappie, man. It just doesn't get any better.
The smallmouth here in Champlain is phenomenal.
Well, hey guys, it's Sunday night and it's time again for another weekend roundup. How's everyone been? It's been a great week here for me. I hope you guys have had a great week too, catching a bunch of fish. Before we jump into things and I introduce my guest today, I just want to thank a few folks. Of course, the folks from Tony Maja Products. You know, you want to get into that big old 50-pound striper, now is the time. Be sure you check out TonyMajaProducts.com. They have all the gear you need. You got the bunker spoons, the mojos, custom rods. Get it all at TonyMajaProducts.com. Also, the Fisherman Magazine. You know, each week, Jim Hutchinson gives you the latest of what's coming on the weekend ahead. Get all the tips you need to get on those big fish. And you might even catch me, give you a little advice, what's happening right here in the Poconos. And also, Fin Seeker River Guide Service. You know, Tim Keebler is a premier guide on the Delaware River. Get you into those shad, the largemouth, stripers, muskie, walleye, you name it, 7 days a week. Full and half-day trips available. Be sure you book your trip now, 215-262-4811. Now, speaking of Tim Keebler, guess who we got in the studio today? This Tim Keebler from Fin Seeker Guide Service. Welcome in the studio, Tim.
Hey, thanks, George. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's our pleasure, believe me. Well, first of all, thanks so much for, helping sponsor the show, but also coming in and talk a little about some of the fishing on the Delaware River. You know, I think there's a lot of people that know it, but to really get out there and utilize all the fishing that's available.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of things that we can talk about. So getting into it, let's talk a little bit about starting the year off. You know, where do we want to kick things off? And, you know, say it's January, you know, you're just coming out of the holidays and, you know, you want to get into that fishing. What do we go for?
Well, basically, we'll be looking for walleye. It's a slow fishery that time of year, but you can go out and definitely get some fish. We'll fish fast water, deep holes, jerk baits, real still, slow presentations. If you catch 2 fish, 3 fish, you had a great morning. You know, it's a real slow fishery, but it's fun. It's, you know, it's something to do when it's cold out. And we might even get a smallmouth or 2, believe it or not, depending on the water temperature. So
John Augustine here gave us a comment. He says, the Captain Tim knows the Delaware and is an excellent angler, fresh to salt.
Hey, thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Just speaking of John real quick, I want to give John a quick thanks. John Augustine and Greg Gruber, they took me out this week and got me on some fish. I just don't want to know, but I have to thank these guys because they took me out. It was a beautiful day up on the Rare, and they got me into a couple of beautiful stripers. Biggest one was about 30 plus pounds or so.
Oh, nothing like that bite.
Oh yeah, it was just really, really good. I can't thank them guys enough. But just before we get too far into it, John, thank you and Greg for the trip. That was beautiful. I hope we get out to fish again.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, but back to you, Tim. I want to talk about. Let's start off. Okay, you take them out. This is your rig. Let's talk about what you got to get out on the river.
So we're running an 18-foot. It's 8 foot wide. We got a 115 horse jet on there. We can go anywhere we want on the river with this boat. It's very safe. I've actually installed safety rails on the side, and we can go anywhere you want. We anchor wherever you want and drift, fish, do whatever you want on the river from that boat. It's really good.
How many people can you take on it?
So typically, you know, stripers and smallmouth, we can do 2 or 3 people comfortably. So that way we have room for casting and whatnot. Shad, we can do up to 4 people.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Just depending on what we're targeting and how we're fishing for them.
Hey, Charles Piro said hello. He's calling in from
Charles.
YouTube. How you doing, Charles? He said he scored a 29-inch channel cat at Beltsville yesterday on a 5-inch Rapala. Awesome. Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Good work, man. Keep those pictures coming. That's good stuff, guys.
Yep.
So 4 for shad. That's good. I mean, it looks like you can get in some really shallow water with that, so you can get some of those really good areas for.
We can, and then we also have 2 nice casting platforms on there, as you can see.
Right.
So fishing for stripers and smallmouth, you have plenty of room.
Right.
And you can go around the boat and everything.
So you're talking about a little about shad too. I mean, we started off talking. You know, it's early season. You're going for his walleye.
Yep.
Now, the techniques for walleye in the wintertime, how do you approach walleye in the winter?
So real slow presentation. We'll use a jerk bait in the current, and we will get it down to a depth and almost just hold it there and let the fish come up behind it. It's really tricky fishery. It's not for,
fun, though.
and it's not for the faint of heart. There's ice on the deck, and
Okay.
sometimes you got to bring the lines in and clear it off and
Right.
whatnot of ice. And you catch a couple fish. It's a good day.
Okay.
But it's and the bite's slow and the fight is slow also.
Okay.
But you're out there in the winter and you catch a fish. You know,
Nice.
That's the best part of it.
Jay Batcher says hello.
Hey Jay, how you doing?
Good to see you. He's calling in from YouTube as well. And Ryan Sturgis says hello.
Oh, Ryan, he's a good fisherman.
Yeah, he says, do you think Crestliner is better than the G3? Has a question for you already.
Oh, that's tough. I think they both have their, advantages.
Both have their strong points.
I can tell you what, I'm beating on that Crestliner. I modified it a lot, and it's definitely taking it.
Good.
So that much I could tell you, Ryan.
Hope that answers your question, Ryan. Jen Wong. Hey, Jen, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
I don't know if you know, this guy can catch some fish.
I see his post. Yes, he does.
Thanks for watching, Jay. Yeah, definitely. He's the guy to get it. He just got into some really nice white purchase this week, too. He was sharing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's good.
That's real good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in walleye fishing. We kind of come out of what's next after the walleye once things start moving, warming up just a tad.
Favorite part of the year, the shad run.
It's got to be the shad run.
Yeah, I start catching shad in the middle of March, depending on the weather. And we can go all the way through to the beginning of June.
Yeah.
It is a great fishery.
As long as they're there, right?
Yes. Yep. We have, their ocean run fish, super strong, catch lots of them, put all types of people on them. It doesn't matter your age, anything.
Right.
We can go catch shad.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's this year started at second week of March. So we're catching a lot of fish for 2.5 months.
Yeah, I know. We were talking off camera earlier that with the COVID situation here, you weren't able to take folks out on the trips.
Absolutely.
But you said you were really killing them.
Yeah. So the advantage to the whole COVID thing was I got to fish normally.
But you don't normally do it, right?
Normally people are fishing. Yeah. So I caught a lot of fish myself this year. Yes, we had really good numbers. The best day I had 73 shad.
Holy cow.
Not by myself. So it was a lot of fun.
I'm glad I got your card because I think come next season, you and I are
going. Yeah, we're going. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And then, the shad fishing goes right into the stripers.
Stripers. That's one of mine.
Oh yeah.
You were telling me about this little fella here catching some fish.
This guy is a fishing machine. I'll tell you a little thing about him. When I take people, we don't just go fishing. I sometimes have to see if they can fish.
Right.
We have to learn how to work certain lures, hit specific target zones and whatnot. With the stripers, you got to learn how to work the lure and hit a specific target zone, strike zone.
Sure.
And it's really hard. So I don't know what I'm getting into. So I said, okay, I cast the pencil popper and said, here, do this, and watch me. Now watch the pencil popper. Very first time this kid was spot on. So we went to the spot and he just started catching fish.
Oh, nice.
And it was great. You could tell by the smile.
The smile on his face.
Yeah. Yep. And, even throwing jigs in fast water is a very difficult fishery.
Yeah.
You really have to be on it. And he picked it up right away.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was nice.
Art Bagley. Hello, Art. How you doing this week, buddy?
Art.
Thank you for joining us. But so your technique in the river is that, obviously you're not trolling, so you're anchored up and you're throwing basically plugs and jigs. Is that how you approach them?
So typically early in the morning, I like a top water bite or the jig bite in the deep fast water. And then as the sun comes up, we'll switch to plugs and SPs as the fish get a little deeper and then go back to the deep water again.
Okay.
But we fish a lot of pencil poppers, big lures for stripers.
Sure.
If I had any advice is don't be afraid of the biggest lure you can find. I have 12-inch fish eating 12-inch lures. And if you're throwing something small, you're going to miss out on the trophy fish because those big fish, they don't want to waste their time on a little piece of bait.
Right.
They want to eat a whole herring and be happy.
They want a meal in one shot.
And they're there and they eat them. I see people come up and try to do similar drifts in areas with small little rapalas, and they will not draw a strike of the nicer fish. So we
That's
fish
good
all
advice.
big saltwater stuff in the river for stripers.
Fish big baits. You hear that?
Yeah, yeah. And one other thing, our jigs, I fish the Roadrunner underspins.
Yeah.
It just adds a little extra flair to it.
Sure.
whatever you want,
Sure.
It makes them jump on it
Right.
when they're not biting so much.
That's simple tackle. I mean, you don't need real expensive tackle
No.
to get on big fish.
No,
It's-
we're using medium heavy, 6'6". You want something with a nice drag and not really plastic gears because they'll strip them up a
Sure.
little bit. But yeah, anybody can get on these fish, and you don't even need a boat. You find fast water and eddies. You can catch these fish from the bank
Yeah.
everywhere. And they're all the way up the river right now.
Mhm.
This has been a kind of unusual year. Yes, they always run up, but we have a body of bigger fish up north. People can get on them. They're around, which is unusual for this time of year.
Yeah. Art
So-
said he's heading down the marina now in the
Oh,
morning for some salt. Go get them, Art. Be
Yeah,
sure you
get
send
'em,
us
Art.
send us those pics, Art. We'd love to see them.
Yeah.
And he
Good luck.
agrees. He says big bait and big fish. That is
Yeah.
true. Well, we do the same thing in Beltsville. We trawl for those stripers in there and
Yeah, you
use
do.
the big mojos and stuff like that. And that's what gets on them.
Yeah, I think that's incredible, George. I'd really like to try that with
We'll
you
have to
sometime.
switch up. You take me in the river, we'll bring you out here for some
sounds
stripers.
good. Trolling mojos in the lake. It
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool.
It sounds nuts because you think you're either in Raritan or you're offshore, and
Yeah.
here you are in the local lake. There's
Yeah.
a guy next to you is catching bluegill, and you're pulling it, 20-pound striper.
Yes,
So
good.
it's-
That's a good thing.
It is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good stuff, guys. I mean, you look at the smile on this kid's face. If you ever want to get out and really like get kids introduced to fishing, you got to
Yeah.
hook up with a guy like Tim to really get out and do it right. And you can see, you get a kid on a fish like this,
Oh.
he's hooked for life.
Yeah. Yes.
You're not getting out of his
Absolutely.
blood.
No, you're not.
You know?
And it's possible to do. At first, I always worried about the kids and how we're going to pull this off with this striper
Sure.
fishery. It's very possible. You can do it.
Yeah.
And the kids they don't have the bad habits yet.
Yeah.
So they learn right away.
They learn from the best.
You
right
don't
away.
have to break them of anything. And like you said, they're hooked for life.
Yeah. Try to get him to not fish now.
Yeah.
He'll be bugging his
Yeah.
dad forever.
Well, he's got some big muskie, that little guy
Oh, yeah?
too. Yeah, he's got a little, he's a fisherman.
We're going to see him in the magazine pretty soon. I guess the
Yeah.
fisherman will be doing a report on him.
Yeah, he can fish. Yeah. I have a lot of customers that, can catch fish for sure.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hey, Scott Turto, been trying to conquer Nakamixon.
Hey,
Not
Scott.
easy. I don't know. I haven't fished Nakamixon in ages. I hear there are some stripers in there, purebred and hybrids.
Yep, there sure are some big hybrids in there.
Yeah, I know. I really haven't fished hybrids much. I didn't do a lot of plug-in with the hybrids and stuff like
Yes.
that.
I'm pretty sure I don't fish Lake Nakamixon a lot either. I live real close to there, and they fish the alley weaves. You
Mhm.
go cast net them or however you
Yep.
can get them, and go in the middle of the night
Just
And-
live baiting them
and just listen like you would. You can hear them blowing them
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and you go right to it. And,
without a doubt.
throw a plug in there or live bait.
Yep, big live baits are another technique
Yeah,
guys use
absolutely.
on the bottom.
And I think most of it's even better than dusk and dawn. It's middle of night fishery type thing.
Yeah, my buddy Josh Taylor. He's
Oh yeah.
he's always a big night fishing guy. As a matter of fact, I think he'd rather sleep in the day and fish at night.
Yeah.
He's
same
always
with
saying,
me.
"Call me up. Hey, George, you want to go out at midnight?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to go out at midnight."
What time?
But he scores big. I mean, he was just down the
Yeah.
shore. He was just catching sharks. He's
Yeah,
he's out getting walleyes in the middle of the night. And I think
Yep.
he got his biggest his PB striper
okay.
in Beltsville, like a 30-pounder.
Yep. In the night.
live
Yeah.
one and large baits in the
Yeah, there's some big ones in Nakamixon, that's for sure.
yeah.
I've heard that the next record could come out of there.
That's crazy
So,
because
it sure is.
wow, I mean Beltsville, the biggest one's 46 pounds. I think the state record's out of Raystown.
Right. I think it's 51-ish.
It's something crazy
It's
like
over
that.
50 pounds. Yeah.
I mean, guys work their whole life in the salt trying to get a 50-pounder.
I know, George.
And
you're
we got
right.
them right here in our backyard.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
crazy.
Yep. And there's a few that have been caught in Nakamixon by, people that don't necessarily put it out to the
Mhm.
world. And I've seen them. I've
Okay.
seen pictures of them. So they're in there.
What's the biggest they get in the river? I mean, normally they run what?
Oh, so the biggest we got this year was 18 pounds,
Wow. Okay.
which is a heck of a fish
In the
river.
current, I can imagine that's
Oh,
crazy.
and on a topwater bite, it's
Yeah.
good. There is bigger fish in the river in March. The big breeders come up in there, and a lot of them are to Philadelphia to the Trenton area.
Okay.
You get a 15, 20-pound fish in that river, that's a trophy all day long.
It's anywhere. It's a good fish.
10-pound stripers, that kid's holding about an 8 or 9 pound striper, so 10 to 12-pound fish are aggressive fighting, and they hit everything in there and
just hang on.
Yeah. And we're using, spinning gear, smaller stuff, and
I love it.
They bend it up pretty good. Yeah.
Hey, Glasgow Jr. How you doing there,
Hey.
mate? From across the pond over there in Manchester.
Wow.
This guy's, we're going to talk to him next week. He's actually going to be on the show. We're going to talk some plastic rigging techniques. But
cool.
he's into those big old pike out there.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a big old predator hunter.
Nice.
Great guy. I can't wait to talk to him next week.
Interesting.
Thank you for checking in, Ant. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
What did Ryan say? He's seen a 25-pounder floater.
Oh,
I guess that was in the in the Delaware, Ryan? Was that?
Oh. Yeah. Ryan's on that river a lot.
Yeah.
He is. He fishes hard. Yep. See him out there. Me and him are going to get together someday.
Cool.
Yeah.
And says, yeah, bro, rocking you guys. Yeah, buddy. You'll be out here rocking it next week. So just hang tight. You'll be out here, bud.
Yeah.
Looking forward to talking to you. Johnny Bussard. Hey, Johnny, how you doing, sir?
Johnny.
It says, chubs and night crawlers always produce.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Ryan was talking about Nakamixon. Is what he was talking about a floater. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Huge. I'd never heard of a 25-pound hybrid. I know there's purebreds in there, Ryan. You sure it wasn't a purebred and not a hybrid? I never heard of one that big.
That's a big
That's
fish.
that's like world record class.
It could have been a purebred, but
Yeah, probably.
Nonetheless, they're definitely in there.
They're in there, definitely.
And they have a lot to eat and places to hide.
Go catch them up for us, Ryan. Let's see some of them, buddy.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I know we're talking a lot of stripers and stuff like that, but after the stripers, what do you do kind of like midsummer? What do we go for?
So we go for smallmouth and flatheads.
Oh, the flatheads. Yeah, we got to talk about that too.
Flatheads. But the smallmouth fishery, right now, the top water bite is on.
Mm-hmm.
We got the water temp's right there.
Nice.
And that happens to be my favorite bite for every fish.
Who doesn't like top water?
Everybody's on top water, right?
Right.
Throwing whopper ploppers, first light, and catching a lot of them that way. And then as the summer goes on, they get deeper, and we switch over to jigs. I like the 4-inch Kitech paddle tails.
Who doesn't like the Kitech? Yeah.
And all dark. I fish all dark colors in the river.
Okay.
For smallmouth.
Nice.
As you can see by that picture there, it's white.
Yeah.
All jigs for stripers. You can throw any color you want as long as it's white.
Yeah. That's I'd either white or chartreuse for me. I'm kind of a chartreuse guy.
Yeah.
If I reach in my box, it's a chartreuse that I usually pick up.
All right.
Scott says he actually fishes for largemouth, not really stripers, but there's nothing wrong with largemouth, Scott. I mean, there's some beautiful fish,
Yeah. The river holds quite a few largemouth down the lower end for sure.
Let's see. Art says he makes double dropper loops he learned from YouTube, and they work well and are cheap to make. Yeah, sure. With that, you can get double up there.
Nice.
I don't know if I'd want to get two big ones at a time, though, and have them both going opposite directions.
Yeah.
I mean, your chances are better, but you got your hands full.
Yeah. I fish teasers here and there like that, and when they get on it, you know it.
You know it.
Yes. Yeah. You got to get off the anchor because you're down through the current.
Yeah, right. You're chasing them at that point.
Yep.
That's really great.
A friend of mine caught 2 stripers on one SP this year.
Did he?
Yeah, he had one hooked up and the other came up, tried to get it out of his mouth, and he landed 2 stripers on one SP.
Well, they're big enough, that's for sure.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah, but that's a good way
and
to
like
go.
2 8-pound class fish. So
that's nothing wrong with that.
It was cool, right?
Yeah. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget, guys, that toss your questions here to Tim while we got him. Great resource if you want to fish the river. Let me just do one thing here real quick. Okay. So smallmouth are big. Anything else? I mean, there's a lot of things in the river to fish.
For sure is. The muskie, muskie hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really a hunt. There's specific spots they go to That doesn't mean they're going to bite.
Right.
Everybody that fishes muskie knows that. And the smallmouth get real good. Then the river gets low in oxygen, and everything starts to slow up. And then the flathead fishing and channel cats come alive.
Nice.
It's the hot summer nights. Get a thunderstorm thrown in there, a little muddy water, you know, and live bluegills. Or there's a million theories on channel cats, what to use. People use hot dogs.
I grew up on the Delaware River. That's hot dogs,
right?
Chicken livers.
Chicken livers. You get the little baby stripers eating them all night long, you know. But that's a great fishery because now you got pieces of bait. You're at anchor. You know, it's relaxing, so to speak.
You sit back,
you sit back and you catch 4 or 5 different varieties of fish.
That's
you
awesome.
might even get a walleye jump on something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they believe it or not, them walleyes will eat them bluegills. I mean, they have no problem eating a live bluegill.
Got a question here from Ryan Sturgis again. He says, Tim, do you think gulp works better than just rubbers, or do you catch more using gulp versus sending baits?
Oh, Ryan, you're trying to get the tricks, huh? Yeah, no, I do like gulp. Absolutely. On the jigs and the fast water, I always think it's such a reaction bite. How does it matter? However, when you switch over to a gulp, all of a sudden you'll get like 2 or 3 strikes. So there's got to be something to it. And especially after it gets wet. Yes, it seems to have that scent trail better.
Right.
Yeah, when you first put it on, and then the second time or third time you bring it in, it's all slimy, you know, it's starting to activate. Yep.
That stuff works. That's we'll spray them with that Finessence shutter crab oil and stuff like that. It's just it's anything to make that a little bit more in your favor. I don't think that stuff ever hurts. I
will tell you, Ryan, I always do have that gulp spray, and I spray the worms with it even if they're not gulp.
Now he's really he wants to know, how about trailer hooks?
No, I don't use trailers. Nope.
I think he's trying to get all your secrets here, and he's writing them down.
Ryan's got his own secrets too. I might like to learn a few from him. But no, I don't use trailer hooks. Nope. Would take trebles and bend the barbs down because it's a little bit better that way.
Sure, if you're going to release them.
Well, I'll take 2 to 3 trebles or 2 to 3 hooks and just bend 2 of them down, leave 1 out.
Okay.
And see how that works. And
easier release anyway when you're.
It is. And if I have someone that is an experienced fisherman, I'll go into the other box where they're all bent down, and then keep the line tight, and we'll get them and they come out real nice. Yeah.
Want to touch on the flatheads again. It's only the past couple of years that they really started moving up. When did you start seeing them up in your area?
Just like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Probably something like that. Now, I never really targeted them or looked for them, and it was by accident. We started catching them, and then once you said, "Oh,
that was fun,"
yeah, that was and then you started changing bait tactics and stuff like that. And I really hope that fishery takes off, because if we get 50-pound flatheads in there,
you got your hands full.
We're going to have a great fishery.
I'd love to land one of them.
You get them in that fast water like that, and it's an unbelievable. I've had 25-pound flatheads we've caught
already. Nice.
And there's guys on the river doing really well that really target these flatheads.
That's also good for you as a guy, just to go out there, and that's what a night trip, I guess you run out of them.
Yeah, you run at night. Yep, absolutely. And
but it's a whole new fishery, basically.
It's a whole new fishery, and I hope. And I have friends that run around the river at night with a lot of lights on their boat, and there are thousands of baby flatheads in the river.
Well, that's good.
But it brings up a huge controversy. Are they eating all the smallmouth fry?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do not like the flatheads. We'll have to see. They're there, and it is what it is.
Well, they said the same thing on the Susquehanna. And, there was a big debate we had with, we were talking to the R2 guys one time about that. And, I think the ecology kind of balances itself out at some point, It
does. I agree. Look at all the shad fry that comes down the river. That sustains that river through the winter. Those fish feed. This fall, I saw so much shad fry. I saw actually stripers. They were boiling in it like, stripers in the ocean. Smallmouths just eating it like crazy.
Nice.
So they're filling up. Everything else is too.
Sure.
It's been happening for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's just part of it. But I would like to see the flatheads come along. There's a lot of little guys in there.
It's a good sport fish, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Tom Gilmore, how you doing, Tom? Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Tom.
Tom says, love seeing our home waters get the love. Yeah, it's all
Tommy.
about the home waters here.
Yeah.
That's what we'd like to talk about here. One thing we didn't touch on, especially in the cooler water, how about like brown trout? Do you watch for browns?
Not in our area.
Okay.
It's more of a bycatch. Where we get them is between the Powhatan and the Musconetcon. They're two heavily stocked streams in Jersey, and they filter into the river in there, and we catch them a lot. Shad fishing, smallmouth fishing.
Okay.
It's not a fishery where I could go target.
Okay. I know they've caught some beautiful browns out of the Delaware. I just didn't know if that was something you focused on or not.
No, I have big brown on the wall in my house, and I also have a huge tiger out of the
nice.
Out of the river too. Yeah. I got about I think maybe 16, 17-inch rainbow down in Upper Black Eddy this year, shad fishing. And that was a river fish. It had all its fins, gorgeous fish.
Sweet.
So it wasn't a stock. It was not a stock fish. It was, if maybe it was, it had been living in there.
Nice. So, really nice.
Good to see. Clean water,
Yeah. Hey, Gen 1 sent us a comment here. He says he uses scented gel, which works really well on hard and soft baits, which is an advantage on his favorite type and size. Yeah, that's certainly good stuff there. I don't know what brand you use. I don't know if you want to give away all your secrets, Jen, because you're one hell of a fisherman. But yeah, just that's the kind of stuff that works. I mean, you got to put every little bit of that in your advantage.
That gel holds in the little ribs in the Kitech tails.
Oh yeah,
it just sticks right in there.
That's awesome.
Yep. You get 15, 20 casts out of it.
Really, that much? I haven't used it yet, but I've heard of folks using it. It might be something I need to look into a little bit.
Yeah.
Scott says again that the invasive species of flathead and snakehead have become big targets instead of unwanted fish.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about the flatheads for eating, but I know the snakeheads they're encouraging people to eat them. I hear they're fantastic.
Yes, they are. I've never eaten one, but everybody I've talked to said snakeheads are great.
That's what I'm hearing. Maybe the flatheads will be the same way.
Yeah, flatheads aren't bad. I mean, I've had it. Okay. I'm not a big catfish eater, but if you fry it, it's good.
Right. Little breading and
yeah, you can make anything good like that.
Let's see. Ryan asks, is that garlic? And Jen says it's lip glue.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
What's Scott says?
They're good products.
Yeah.
I think what it does is it seals the deal on your picky fish, your followers, so to speak. Something that's coming up and crushing it, they do it. But yeah, when you're coming in, you see the one that peels off. Right. That's where your scents come in.
I agree. It's just that little bit extra to get on a bite.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, how about late season? What we do, it's summer's kind of over. We're starting to get into fall as things starting to.
Yeah, the smallmouth come back around.
Okay.
Yeah, we get a good fall bite on smallmouth and the walleye. So what we do is we'll do trips for both.
Okay.
At that point, everything's starting to feed up and the fishing gets good. You can even throw in some muskies in. The whole river's starting to come back alive from the low oxygen and high temp.
Right.
When that temp starts to go down.
Holds the oxygen.
Yeah, and everything gets nicer. The fish know it. And then that coincides with, feeding up for the winter.
Sure.
Which coincides with a lot of shad fry.
Right.
So you have that period before the shad fry, it gets good. And then during it, your bite times during the day go down because they have a smorgasbord to eat whenever they want.
Too much food.
So now, you have another predicament you have to deal with, and that's when you switch to something they can't resist. Reaction strikes, I call it. Anything that draws a reaction fast.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And basically the walleye too. We catch most of the walleye. I do anyway in the fall.
Okay.
I catch more walleye as there seem to be
same technique as you use early season.
No, we catch them on a lot of Kitech jigs, and I have found a lot of walleye on the shale flats.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because we used to find them mostly in the 4 to 6 inch river gravel. Now I'm getting them on the shale flats, so I've been targeting that and finding 5-6 fish and 5-6 drifts in a certain area. And then you spook them out and you got to move on. But they're holding for some reason. I don't know if it's the warm water from the sun on the shale or what it is, but in the fall they are finding them on that. So.
And how about as we move closer into winter, like end of the year kind of a thing? Same thing.
Same thing. Then everything starts to move into deeper water to get ready. It all depends. The calendar, as you know, George, doesn't matter. It's
Water temp.
weather,
Yep,
water temp, and a lot of things like that. But basically, the smallmouth sustains the river.
Yeah,
and the walleye do too. I love shad and stripers, so I have that 4 months where it's just
that's your season.
I go as much as I can.
That is really good.
Yeah. And then, from then it's early morning and late evenings,
But the point is, I mean, you pretty much got year-round business. I mean, you can take clients out no matter when it is. You can get them on fish if they want to get out.
Absolutely. We know, obviously, the river has its peak times, spring and fall, but there's fish available all year round. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I love it.
It's a great river, and it's a lot cleaner than it's ever been. And one good point I could tell you is when the river gets really warm, if you know where your cold springs are, you can catch fish in that river all summer long.
Yeah.
When everybody's struggling, you know where the cold springs are. All the stripers and all the smallmouth migrate to them spots.
Well, that's where
key.
Going with a guide helps you. I mean, you're not just going to walk up to Delaware and know where all the hot spots are. You might get lucky, but
the cold springs are key. How do you find a cold spring?
Right.
You spend years of your life looking for them.
Right. It's just, like I said, experience.
Yes. Yeah.
So, guys, I want to let you know, if you want to get out and fish, you got to give Tim a call, 215-262-4811. Be sure you get. I'm sure you're starting to book up a little bit now with the season.
Yeah, phone's ringing now that we're able to take people.
I know.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you want to get out with a really good guide, get on some great fish. Be sure you give Tim a call.
I'd love to take you out. Yep, be great.
And tell him George sent you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, George.
Well, talking about that, how about we take a little look at what some of the folks in the area have already been catching?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's take a look at the trophy board.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jen, you got that little white perch that you caught. Not little. That's a beautiful white perch you got. Jen doesn't give away any of the spots, but he said this is up in North Jersey.
Yeah.
And he was actually getting them on lipless crankbaits. He said, believe it or not. I mean, we catch them on chicken livers and stuff, but he's getting them on artificials.
Aggressive.
That is really, really cool. Good work there, Jen.
Yeah, good job.
Dennis Pitcher, he's getting stripers on the Delaware too. This is down in Bucks County though.
That's a nice fish right there.
Yeah,
doesn't look like she spawned out yet either.
Yeah, I think this was a week or two ago. He said he caught this one, but beautiful fish, Dennis.
Full of eggs here.
Yeah. This was sent in by his dad, Chris. So
that's a great fish, buddy.
Beautiful fish. Dan Rao out getting some sea bass, and he was right off of Atlantic City getting a bunch of these. So
they've been on the jig.
Yeah,
they had the guys keeping the clams on the boat.
Really,
they're getting them on jigs.
That works, man. Somebody's loading up on them, but good tasty catch there.
Yeah, it is.
Peter Brewer out of this is Island Beach State Park getting some fluke off the beach there. A little sandy guys there, but really nice catch, guys.
Peter catches some fish.
Yeah, and Ryan Sturgis, he's out there. Yeah, he said the lake's secret. He won't give up that location, but he said a black and silver yum dingers are getting it done. So bass are moving off the spawn now. They're post spawn, moving deeper.
Yep.
And obviously Ryan's out there getting on them.
Yeah, he's on them.
Our good friend Eric Goodstall wanted getting on some panfish. This is a great time of year for panfish, and obviously just keeping some for the pan. But you get some really beautiful,
That's a slab there.
Yeah, I think it's a reddy or sunfish. I think Eric's much more up on the species identification than I am.
Yes, I think it is.
But that's a beauty there.
Yeah.
Pete Egbert out getting some bluefish on the old diamond jigs here. Nice, so that's a good fish.
That's a blast. The old bluefish.
Oh, I love.
Grew up catching them.
Everybody hates them. I mean, that size is the perfect eater there. A couple pound.
Nothing wrong with it.
I don't want a 20 pounder.
No thanks.
No. But that's the perfect. I'll take a couple of them for eating any day.
I would too, George.
That's good stuff.
Eating the little guys.
Dave Getz out got a really nice bass on his kayak, 18 and a half inch, and that thing had some girth to it.
Very nice. That's probably 3.5, 4 pounds.
Oh yeah,
I bet you there.
Gave him a lot of fun on the kayak there.
Nice.
That's going to wrap up our trophy board this week. Thank you guys all for either sending me those pics. Again, you can send them to my email address, drop them here on Facebook, or even leave me a comment on YouTube, and we'll get back to you. But really appreciate them. And that's going to bring up our trivia giveaway this week. So the question is for this week, and what we're giving away is the Fisherman Magazine is giving me a gift certificate for a free 1-year subscription to the magazine. That's
Nice.
38 issues.
That's nice.
For free as a prize here. So it's all the information you guys need to be better fishermen. It's a fantastic deal. Free coming your way. All you got to do is be the first person to answer this question. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, what is the oldest recorded age of a smallmouth bass? Is it 12 years old, 26 years old, or 32 years old? What do you guys think? First person that gives me the correct answer is going to get this free subscription to the Fisherman Magazine.
It's a good question. I actually want to know the answer to this.
I had Josh stumped last week too on one. So
this is a good question.
Come on, guys. Let's see. What is the oldest recorded? Guy Swope gave us the first right answer.
Oh, Guy.
All right, Guy. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's
good job, Guy.
26 years old. I'll get with you after the show here, Guy, and we'll find out where you want to have the this subscription sent to you. But congratulations, great work.
Yeah, I see him on social media.
Yeah,
Guy catches a lot of
26-year-old smallmouth.
Imagine that.
That's huge.
That's a long life when you think about living in the river for 26 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
I just, when I was researching the question for this week, I looked at that and I thought, maybe 8, 9, 10 years, but
right.
Holy cow,
That's pretty interesting.
That is good.
Maybe not the river either. It could be a lake fish too.
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah.
Well, guys, that's getting wrap up our show. And I hope you enjoyed Tim. He's a fountain of knowledge. I hope you guys reach out to him even after the show. And please, if you definitely want to get out and do a trip, call Tim, 215-262-4011. Give him a call. Get out in that water and get yourself into some of those trophy fish.
We'll have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also, special thanks to Tony Majot Products, the Fisherman Magazine, and be sure to keep those pictures coming. We love hearing from you guys. Send me those pics. You can email me at PoconoGeorge@outlook.com. Drop me those comments here on Facebook. Like I said, you can get me on YouTube as well. That's kind of going to wrap things up for this week. I hope you guys had a really good time. Go catch them up. What do you think, Tim?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Yep, catch them up. Thanks, George, for having me. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Well, guys, we'll catch you next week. Talk soon.
Take it easy.